Hi there guys, my name's Grant Thompson, I'm an internet marketer, and the reason for this video today is I want to take you into a state of confusion. Yeah, confusion. By the end of the video that'll make sense to you. You'll understand why confusion is actually a good place to be. Now it's a great day today, it's lovely weather out here in the UK, so I thought I'd come out for a little walk, and I'm going to go along this Pennine Trail. You can see here, the Pennine Trail is actually one of these long walkways that cover the coast from east coast to west coast of England. Okay, before I start on the video, let me just tell you a little bit about my background, where I've been, where I've come from. As I said, it's Grant Thompson, my name. I've been involved in home-based businesses and primarily network marketing, or MLM, for 6 years. I was involved with one of the biggest nutrition companies in the world, but I got to a point where I didn't think that I was at the point where I should have been for the effort and the time I'd put into that. I'd started to look at alternatives, and I came across a letter on the internet. Somebody sent me a letter, or a file, and this letter was called the Coffee House letter. Now, some of you may be aware of this. It's by a guy called Mike Dillard, and some of you may have read this, and some of you may not have. But this is what this is all about: confusion, and why confusion is a good place to be. As I said, I'd done network marketing for 6 years. I had quite a good degree of success with it. At one point, after 2 years of starting with the company, I was recognised as their top recruiter in the whole of Europe. So I was doing some things right as I was going along and learning. However, 4 years later, it wasn't really giving me the returns, the freedom that I wanted, all the things that I signed up for, it wasn't giving me it. So as I said, I started looking for alternatives, came across internet marketing. Now then, on the internet, you come across some amazing stories. You see the sales letters about, I sent out an email and made $1 million overnight. I sent out an email and the success these guys have is incredible. You've got people like Frank Kern, Mike Dillard, Dennis Carganilla. They seem to have overnight success. So that's what really got my attention. I thought, oh, this might be worth looking into. Internet marketing and online business. So it looked easy, all the sales letters, decided to get involved. And that's a key point, making a decision. Making a decision is one of the hardest things to do. Napoleon Hill actually says that people that lack decision-making skills is the biggest reason for failure. So if anybody's made a decision to start a business, congratulations on getting that far. Once I got started with this, it suddenly became apparent that there's a massive learning curve. There's a lot to learn. It wasn't as easy as these things said. Great, put together an email, send it out, and you have success overnight. It wasn't really the case. But more importantly, when you change what your direction and focus is, you have to stop thinking and behaving the way you did. You've got to think unconventionally. When I used to work with the MLM company, I tell you, I was busy. I was getting that top recruiter in Europe spot. You're working flat out. You're working 60, 70 hours a week. I was driving all over the country, doing business presentations. I was going into shops, doing questionnaires. I was handing out flyers. On average, the goal was 4,000 flyers per day. Now, I don't know if you know how long it takes to hand out 4,000 flyers in the rain and the snow, but it's not a quick job. So there's no problem. I was busy, but there's a difference between being busy and being productive. In fact, Jim Rohn says, stop being a busy idiot. Yeah, you can be very, very busy but still be broke, and that was me. And at this point, you've got to stop, you've got to slow down, you've got to rethink what you're doing, and fundamentally you've got to change what you're doing, because if you keep doing the same thing, you'll keep getting the same result. Around this point you realise that all of these people, the internet gurus, there's more behind the story than the headline. Some of these guys have worked at the business for 6 years, 5-6 years, until they got that breakthrough of the one email that netted $1 million. And during that time, all those years of study and practice, they've been learning and developing a new skill set that enabled them to have this apparent overnight success. And at this point, this is where the confusion really kicks in. You start to question what you've been doing. 6 years, what was it worth it? You start to question where you're going with this new business. Can you do it? You've got so much to learn. Sometimes you feel overwhelmed, but can you do it? You're confused by a lot of things. But this is what I'm going to say. Without getting to this state, nothing would change. So confusion is actually the state you want to get to, because from here, you can move forward. From here, you've actually deconstructed the world as you know it. Your reality of the world that was very cosy. You've deconstructed that, and now you're at a point with the new skills that you've learned to reconstruct your life, your business, in the way that you want to. Unless you go through this process, you can't come out the other side with a better alternative. As I mentioned, some of these internet gurus spent years developing, learning, getting their skill base up to scratch, what they need to do. The good thing today is you don't need to take that time. The learning curve has been shortened. You can get the same success in a lot less. What took somebody 5 or 6 years can now be achieved in 5 or 6 months. You know, it's not unusual in internet marketing for somebody to make $10,000 in the first month. You know, in the first year to be making over $100,000 a month. Now, modelling really involves adopting the attitudes and beliefs of somebody that you want to be like. Maybe it's a sports person, a business person. If you copy them exactly, the beliefs, attitudes and values of that person, you'll have the same result, but it'll be in a fraction of the time. A great example of modelling is with Anthony Robbins. Anthony Robbins is one of the biggest personal development names in the world, and he holds conferences, and part of the conference gives participants the chance to walk on fire and do a number of other feats that would look impossible. But these things are possible, and people do it because of this modelling effect. Now, if you accept the concept of modelling and believe that this can let you achieve what you want in a short space of time, the next question is, who do you model? You know, who do you want to be like? As I said, it could be a business person. In this case, we're looking at people who have had success in internet marketing. Primarily, people who have had success in marketing. You know, generating leads, generating cash flow. Because it's marketing that will be the downfall of any business. If you can't get that together, then your business will fail. Now, if you've reached a point in your life or your business that you're not exactly 100% happy with where you thought you'd be or where you should be, then don't worry, get a mentor, a leader, follow that person, copy the steps that they have laid out for you, don't reinvent the wheel, and just to reassure you that confusion, as I said, is a good place to be. You can't move forward without it. But what I'm going to finish up with this is, just finish off the video, if you are ready, if you're in a place, again, like me, that I wasn't 100% happy, and I knew there was something else out there, didn't know what it was, then what I'm going to ask you to do is, I mentioned the coffee house letter at the beginning, I'm going to ask you, when the video finishes, click across over here, there's a link over here, MLM Traffic Pro, click that link and you'll get access to the coffee house letter. What I will say to you is, be prepared to be shocked. If you've been involved in MLM for a while, some of the information in there is quite revolutionary, you know, so it'll definitely get you thinking. It's probably one of the best things I ever read. I wish I'd come across it years ago. It would have saved a lot of heartache, a lot of time. So if you're in the same position as I was, and you think it's time to move on, click the link, watch the video, and hopefully see you again soon. Thanks for watching.